Welcome back, blade fans. Ohhhh Blade Reviews with you once again. Yeah, I'm excited because after a long wait, I finally got something in the mail from Worksharp, and no, it's not a sharpener, but it's something you can use a sharpener on, but definitely not the way it comes, because it is beastly sharp. Here's what I got. RMX, gray, reverse Tanto, late to the party, but couldn't get near these things in the first few months they're being offered. I even tried their little trick that they told me to jump on at whatever, 10 o'clock or what have you, 1 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. I'm on the East Coast, and you know, jump right in. And I think the first time I tried, by the time I got something in the cart and checking out, they were out of stock. And I didn't want the utility blade, I didn't want the drop point. I wanted this. All kinds of stuff falling out of the box. It's going to be a two-part thingy because I'm going to play with this knife a bit the way it comes as a manual button lock opener. And then I'm going to embark upon the conversion. And I'm not going to strain your eyes with all sorts of steps of how it's converted to an auto, because there have been many other videos showing those details. But I am going to take this little thing out from under the clip. It's cool. I think Benchmade started that. And we've got the NAF. There it is in a really nice kind of medium light gray. Clip that switches to the left side. Lefties are blessed. It's a deep push on that button to get it to open. That's one thing I noticed when I first tried it, but she's a nice blade. And she be in 3V with, I think, Cerakote coating on there. I'll correct myself if I'm wrong on that. CPM 3V. Yep. And we got that nice gold pivot. We have a magnesium alloy frame, gold pivot on the other side, and drop shut on bearings for sure. The box, we have the tool that helps you remove the pivot and replace the pivot with the pivot that has the coil spring in it. There it is. Okay. Next time you see it, it will be installed. Here is a spare spring and a spare button spring, spare screw, and a spare bearing. I think that is very decent of them. And we're talking about a price of only $140, plus I think about 10 bucks shipping. This came FedEx, but it came FedEx, Conestoga wagon. About, I think, 8 to 10 days to get here from the time they shipped it. Not the fastest, but what the hey. And then you put on top of that the fact that FedEx doesn't accurately scan or give you updates, and it's slow. I'm not sure that they gave a faster option, but you know, when it's here, all that's water under the bridge. So really sharp, as I'm sure you've seen. Definitely piercy, and just my paper always seems to be tougher than most, but you get the idea. It's sharp. It is a thin Wharncliffe reverse Tanto. They're calling it reverse Tanto. Reverse Tanto blade. I'll go along with that. Yep. And I like it because the edge is raised, the point is on line, so she's stabby, although thin. And I have seen these things bend in a vise, so I've got a lot of faith that there's some really great qualities to this 3V. Maybe this 3V in particular, I don't know. But there you go. Second part of the video will be magical because it'll seem like it's coming at the same time I did this, but it may very well be hours or even a day or so later. I'll be back with you soon. Stay sharp. Okay, well, magic. As I said, matter of a few hours, had to do a few other things. Let me zoom out a little bit. There she is. The gray RMX by Worksharp. And we have it now in full auto. There she is. I used the number 2 position. There's a number 1 position and number 2 position. One being stronger, number 2 being stronger than the number 1 position, giving you a little more spring. So I can't imagine having less than that. I mean, that's pretty standard for an auto. I adjusted the pivot screw here so that looks like I got a little bit of wobble there. Shall I snug it up a little bit more? I got everything in the box here. Got all the unused parts and the spare parts, including the little torques that they give you. This shouldn't take much. Yeah, just a tiny little tighten. And that's better. Of course, you don't want to tighten it too much, and then your action is frozen. See if that does it. Yeah, much better. Let's see if it works. Oh yeah. Very nice. So we got a finger choil. Get the box away again. I try not to lose parts. I'm pretty good at it, not losing parts. And here's my paper. Is it just as sharp as an auto as it was as a manual? Oh, absolutely. The 3V blade, very thin stock. We'll grab some quick measurements on it. Like I said, I'm not going to do the step-by-step assembly deal or disassembly, reassembly, conversion deal, because it's been done on a number of other channels, and I got this a bit late. 2.3 millimeters on the blade stock and 11.9 millimeters on the handle. And handle in inches, just under half an inch, 0.48 and 0.09. Yes, on the blade stock in inches. Overall length of this guy is 7.6 inches with a blade 3.4. Yeah, well, let's see. 3.3. Just lay it right on there, dude. 3.25, 3.3. 3.3 inch. If anybody tells you it's any longer, I don't think so, but doesn't matter. It's a good size, you know. They've got the drop point, which is roughly this size, and they got the small drop point, which is less than that. They give you a nice plug here that you can take out. It's a 1 screw deal, deep carry pocket clip. Once you take that screw out, it also removes the plate there, the filler, and then you switch everything over to the other side. You can't, unfortunately, switch the auto mechanism button over to the other side. One thing I do notice is that you're not going to have any ADs with this, AD being accidental discharge, accidental deployment in this case, because when you push on that button all the way down, hard, it will not open. You've got to isolate the button and almost get your fingernail in there. So if you're looking for really fast deploy, you just got to practice getting the tip of your thumb in there. If you're a lefty, it would be the tip of your index finger. Barely do that. I realize this whole thing kind of disappears on my background because you got gray on gray. Weight. Yeah, I almost forgot the weight. But you're waiting for the weight. Such bad jokes. And yeah, I tried closing it, slipped out of my hand. And fortunately, I didn't get cut. Let's go to grams. In grams, only 69 grams. 2.44 ounces, rounding up. Very light, primarily because of this magnesium alloy frame. Been a lot of talk about, oh, magnesium is going to burn up and everything. Well, I think somebody finally got it to ignite with like a real high temperature torch, but it's not a flammable substance per se. Magnesium, raw magnesium, will be much more flammable than magnesium alloy. So this is an alloy. Usually when it's used in things like this, it's an alloy, and it is a casting. They get the unibody integral handle going here because it is a casting. And that's why you've got to be able to put the mechanism in from the side. You can't take anything apart to open it up to put this stuff in. But they did a very good job in engineering it. And they really did engineer a brand new style of knife, I feel. Even though there have been integral G10 knives and other things where you've got to, you know, slip this in before that and so on and so forth. It's you know, it's a little daunting to engineer how that mechanism is going to get in there. But I saw the whole video on the development of this, and I really think that they did a great job. So there is the RMX in auto version. First part of the video showed you the RMX in manual version. And in the manual version, it is like the Civivi Elementum. I had to go look that up. The original Civivi Elementum was a button lock, one of their first, and it was a button open and a button closed. And that's what this is, because that's the only way you can build it as both an automatic and a manual. The blade has to lock closed. If it didn't, this spring would have it springing open on you all the time. So really nice auto. We'll do a quick compare or two. Here is the Benchmade Griptilian Mel Pardue design. Bet you didn't know that. Here it is with the Rat 1, Ontario Rat 1. And I'm off screen. What do you know? There we go. So a smaller knife, smaller than the Griptilian by about 3/4 of an inch overall, with the blade slightly shorter than the Griptilian, and definitely smaller than the Rat 1 by like 1.5 inches overall at least, and about 1/2 inch or so blade length. Well, there you go. Not much more to say about it. Glad I finally got my hands on one. You know, I told them over there I would just wait until, you know, all of the hype died down, and that's exactly what happened. Wasn't even a Monday, and I was able to pick this up on a Tuesday. Sure enough, the exact model I wanted was available. And again, just took about 8-9 days to get here, coast to coast. Be well. Take care. Stay safe.